country. I'm Bill Rapley, NBC 10 News in the newsroom.
Well, Bill, this story obviously making international headlines and causing tensions between allies.
Okay, and as you can see, we're joined now by Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline. Congressman Cicilline, thanks for making some time for us this afternoon. You know, former President George W. Bush said that one of the biggest regrets of his presidency was the intelligence failure when it came to the weapons of mass destruction. It sounds so familiar. Based on what you know and seen so far, what is the hard evidence of chemical weapons in Syria?
Well, I think that's the first and most important point. What we've seen is horrific. The use of chemical weapons is an atrocity. It's a violation of international law. But what we have to do is proceed very cautiously. We need to see the evidence. We need to thoughtfully review it. I've called on the Speaker to bring us back into session immediately so we can have a classified briefing, so that we can study the evidence, understand from the intelligence community what is the evidence. But this is a very serious issue. At the same time, we have to recognize that we have tremendous challenges here in our own country, urgent responsibilities that we need to meet, and whether it's in dealing with our budget crisis or dealing with the passage of transportation bills or passing immigration reform, we have a lot of work to do. We've been in recess for over a month. We should be back in session both to hear this information, to hear the administration, to study it thoughtfully, to have a robust debate about it, but we should proceed very, very cautiously.
It is the job of Congress to provide authorization for war. Should the president be coming to you to ask for permission, and if you get this evidence that they did use chemical weapons on their own people, would you give him authorization?
Well, I think there's no question the president has a responsibility to come to Congress. Consultation has begun. There has to be additional consultation with the rest of Congress over the coming days. That's why I've asked the Speaker actually to bring us back to Washington. We should be there. These require classified briefings, which have to be done in Washington, or should be done in Washington, as well as the administration. And we need to have a robust debate about what are the options, what will advance the national security interests of our own country. Chemical weapons are weapons of a different kind, and certainly there has to be a broad international coalition that responds to this. But we have to be sure that what we're doing is in the national security interests of our own country, that it's done in concert with countries all over the world, so that this isn't the United States leading an effort. We have big challenges right here. We've got to focus on getting people back to work, on repairing our infrastructure, right, on fixing our budget. So,
but bottom line, you haven't really made up your mind yet then whether or not we should be taking military action.
Well, I think we have a lot of evidence that we need to review. We need to be persuaded about the evidence. We need to see it. We need to study it. We need to listen to the intelligence community.
We need to see evidence.
That's right. Absolutely. Before we engage in any kind of coalition, we have to understand exactly what the facts are.
Congressman David Cicilline, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.